They told us we were alone in the universe. They were wrong. Right now, at this very moment, a biological organism from another star system is entering Earth's atmosphere alive. Scientists are in absolute shock. Governments are scrambling. This isn't a movie. This isn't a hoax. Actual living extraterrestrial life just hitched a ride on Comet 3I Atlas and arrived on our planet hours ago. What they found moving under the microscope has left even the most skeptical scientists speechless. If you watch only one video today, make it this one. Everything just changed. The news broke just hours ago when a team of international astronomers and astrobiologists released preliminary findings that have sent shockwaves through the scientific community and beyond. What started as routine observations of Comet 3I Atlas, an interstellar visitor that has been making its way through our solar system, turned into something far more extraordinary than anyone could have imagined. Advanced spectroscopic analysis detected unusual chemical signatures that didn't match any known geological or cosmic processes. These signatures suggested the presence of organic compounds, but not just any organic compounds. We're talking about complex biological molecules that are associated with living systems. Let's back up for a moment and talk about what Comet 3I Atlas actually is, because understanding its origin makes this discovery even more mind-blowing. Unlike comets that originate from our own solar system's Oort cloud or Kuiper belt, 3I Atlas came from somewhere beyond our cosmic neighborhood. It's what scientists call an interstellar object, meaning it traveled from another star system entirely. This comet has been journeying through the cold darkness of space for potentially millions or even billions of years before entering our solar system. The fact that anything biological could survive such a journey defies almost everything we thought we knew about the limits of life. When the initial chemical signatures were detected, the scientific team was cautiously skeptical. False positives happen in space science all the time. Instruments can be fooled by unusual mineral compositions or unexpected chemical reactions caused by solar radiation. But as they conducted more detailed observations using multiple telescopes and different analytical methods, the evidence became impossible to dismiss. The spectral lines showed not just organic molecules, but patterns consistent with cellular structures. There were indications of amino acids, lipids that form cell membranes, and even what appeared to be nucleic acids similar to DNA or RNA. The team then did something unprecedented. They coordinated with space agencies to deploy high-altitude atmospheric sampling equipment specifically designed to capture particles as the comet passed closer to Earth. These specialized collectors, mounted on research aircraft flying at extreme altitudes, were able to gather microscopic samples of material that had been ejected from the comet as it heated up approaching the Sun. What they found in those samples has fundamentally changed our understanding of life in the universe. Under electron microscopes, researchers identified structures that can only be described as cells. Not human cells, not bacterial cells as we know them, but cellular structures nonetheless. These entities had protective outer membranes, internal compartments, and most astonishingly, they showed signs of metabolic activity. When exposed to certain nutrients in controlled laboratory conditions, these organisms responded. They absorbed materials, processed them, and exhibited behaviors consistent with living systems trying to maintain homeostasis and survive. The implications of this discovery are staggering on multiple levels. First, it confirms what many scientists have long suspected but never proven, that life exists beyond Earth. But this goes far beyond finding microbes on Mars or detecting potential biosignatures on distant exoplanets. This is actual living extraterrestrial life that has literally come to us. Second, it suggests that life can survive interstellar travel, which opens up the very real possibility of panspermia, the theory that life might spread throughout the galaxy by hitching rides on comets and asteroids. Perhaps life on Earth itself didn't originate here, but was seeded by a similar cosmic delivery millions of years ago. The biological characteristics of this organism are utterly fascinating and deeply alien. Its cellular structure uses some familiar building blocks like amino acids, but arranged in configurations that Earth biology doesn't use. Its genetic material, if that's what it is, appears to operate on different base pairs than the 4 nucleotides that make up DNA in all terrestrial life. This suggests that life in the universe might follow certain universal chemical rules, but with significant variations in how those rules are implemented. It's like discovering that another civilization invented the wheel, but their wheel has 7 sides instead of being circular, and somehow it still works. Scientists are being extremely careful about how they're handling these organisms. The samples are kept in the highest level biosafety containment facilities on the planet, the same type used for the most dangerous human pathogens. This isn't because they've shown any signs of being harmful. In fact, initial tests suggest these organisms can't interact with Earth biology in any meaningful way. Our immune systems don't even recognize them as threats because they're so chemically different from anything terrestrial. But caution is absolutely warranted because we simply don't know what we're dealing with. Could these organisms carry exotic viruses or produce compounds that might be toxic to Earth life? Could they somehow adapt to our environment and become invasive? These questions need answers before anyone can feel truly comfortable. The public reaction has been predictably intense and divided. Social media exploded with the news, with hashtags related to the discovery trending worldwide within minutes. Some people are celebrating this as humanity's greatest scientific achievement, proof that we're not alone in the cosmos. Others are expressing deep concern or even fear about what this means. There are already conspiracy theories circulating that governments have known about this for weeks or months and only released the information now. Some religious groups are grappling with how this discovery fits into their understanding of creation and humanity's place in the universe. Government agencies and international organizations are scrambling to establish protocols for this unprecedented situation. The United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs has called an emergency session to discuss how to manage this discovery. There are questions about who has jurisdiction over extraterrestrial life that arrives on Earth. There are debates about whether this material should be studied openly with full transparency, or whether some aspects should remain classified for security reasons. Some nations are demanding access to samples for their own research, while others are arguing that this is too important and potentially dangerous to be widely distributed. What's particularly interesting from a scientific perspective is what this organism can tell us about the conditions in the star system where 3I Atlas originated. By studying its biochemistry, scientists hope to learn about the environment where it evolved. Was it from a planet orbiting a star similar to our Sun? Or did it come from a radically different type of stellar system? Did it originate on a planet's surface? Or could it have evolved in the subsurface ocean of an icy moon? Or even in the upper atmosphere of a gas giant? The organism itself is like a biological time capsule, carrying information about alien worlds we may never be able to visit. The technology required to detect and confirm this discovery represents decades of advancement in multiple scientific fields. We have spectroscopes sensitive enough to detect individual molecules in space. We have electron microscopes that can image structures at the atomic level. We have genetic sequencing technology that can analyze completely alien biological codes. Without these tools, this organism would have entered our atmosphere completely undetected, just another microscopic particle among billions. It makes you wonder what else we've missed over the centuries, how many other interstellar visitors might have carried life to Earth without anyone ever knowing. Looking forward, this discovery opens up entirely new fields of research. Astrobiology, which has largely been theoretical until now, suddenly has actual extraterrestrial life to study. Questions that were once pure speculation can now be tested experimentally. How does this organism reproduce? How does it obtain energy? What are its environmental tolerances? Can it be cultured and grown in laboratory conditions? Every answer will likely lead to 10 new questions. But that's exactly what makes this so exciting for science. There's also the profound philosophical and existential impact of this discovery. For thousands of years, humans have looked up at the stars and wondered if we're alone. That question has now been definitively answered. We are not alone. Life exists elsewhere in the universe, and it can travel between the stars. This knowledge changes something fundamental about how we see ourselves and our place in the cosmos. We are not the only experiment in biology that the universe has produced. We are part of a larger story of life that spans galaxies and eons. The immediate priority now is ensuring that this organism is thoroughly studied while maintaining absolute containment. Scientists want to sequence its entire genetic code, map its metabolic pathways, understand its life cycle, and determine if it poses any risk to Earth's biosphere. These studies will take months or possibly years to complete properly. Meanwhile, astronomers are intensifying observations of 3I Atlas to see if there are more biological signatures, or if this was an isolated sample that somehow got embedded in the comet during its journey. What happens next is uncertain, but one thing is clear. January 2026 will be remembered as the month when humanity's place in the universe changed forever. We've moved from a world where extraterrestrial life was a fascinating possibility to one where it's a confirmed reality. The living organism from 3I Atlas, whatever it ultimately turns out to be, has already earned its place in history as the first confirmed extraterrestrial life ever detected by human science, and it arrived not on some distant planet that we observed through a telescope, but here, entering our own atmosphere, bringing the cosmos directly to us. The age of interstellar biology has begun, and we're only just starting to understand what that means for humanity's future.